Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for episode number 17 of our F1 2013 Williams Road to Recovery career mode series that sees us fly and land here at Abu Dhabi, the Yas Marina circuit, the Twilight event. I think is it full night time this year? I'm not entirely sure. It's obviously the last event on the calendar of the F1 2014 season, but on F1 2013 it's the third to last. So as you can see here, we're doing pretty strong against Pastor Maldonado. This is of course round 17, the third to last round. Only America and Brazil left after this one, so we're looking forward to this one. It's a track that I quite like, but in the meantime, let's check out the qualifying report. There was no doubting the fastest man in Q1, as Lewis Hamilton was quickest by 9/10 of a second over Mercedes teammate Nico Rosberg, with both on primes. Sergio Perez was third on options, whilst at the other end we lost Esteban Gutierrez and Jean-Eric Vergne. Q2, however, would belong to the Red Bull of Sebastian Vettel, fastest by 4/10 of a second over Nico Rosberg. Yusufu, Perez and Hülkenberg made it into the shootout at the expense of Jenson Button and Romain Grosjean. And once again it would be Vettel fastest to take pole by a slightly smaller margin of 0.04 of a second over Nico Rosberg, with Fernando Alonso in third. Lewis Hamilton would take fourth in front of Mark Webber, whilst last year's winner Kimi Raikkonen will start from sixth. So all of this means that Sebastian Vettel will be on pole for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix by the smallest of small margins over Nico Rosberg in second. Fernando Alonso will start third in front of Hamilton, Webber and Raikkonen, with Felipe Massa in seventh, Hülkenberg in eighth, Sergio Perez in 9th, and the second of the Brits in the top 10, Yusufu there starting in 10th in the Williams. So as you would have seen on the strategy, we are aiming to pit on lap 6, starting on option tyres, starting 10th on the grid. Sebastian Vettel taking pole, our teammate there, Pastor Maldonado, in 15th place. We're looking to pit on lap 6 to put on those prime tyres till the end. As you can see, though, starting 10th with Sergio Perez and Nico Hülkenberg in front of us. Looking to 5 lights now on, and the 5 lights are now off, and we are underway. Brilliant start for Perez to our right hand side. He's going to jump Massa and Hülkenberg. He gets a terrible start to our left hand side. Another good start from McLaren. This time it's Jenson Button, but as per usual, the AI are very early on the brakes, very tentative on the brakes. We run into the back of Sergio Perez there briefly. Hülkenberg backs out of the move through the first corner. Massa backs out of it against Sergio Perez, who's got a really good start. He's now up into 7th place. We are now all over the back of Felipe Massa. Going to look at the inside of him down into the chicane. Yes, we are. Got Mark Webber going quite slowly there as well in the Red Bull. Sorry, a bit of contact there with Massa as well in the Ferrari. Webber is yet again really slow, running to the back of him again. And Sergio Perez, we're just following him through the order, almost hitting him there through the hairpin as we go at the inside of the Australian Mark Webber in that Red Bull to make it up into 7th place. Really good start again from 10th on the grid, made up 3 positions and up into rich fuel mixture there, having started on the cautious fuel strategy. We've got Mark Webber all over the back of us in that Red Bull, behind him Felipe Massa, Webber there going to the outside, 2 guys abreast there in front as well. I think that's Raikkonen and one of Mercedes. Really look at the inside there of Perez. That was very messy and a little bit of a last gasp manoeuvre. I just outbraked myself basically. I wasn't intending to try and get the inside of Perez. I was just defending myself from Mark Webber, and in the end just outbraked myself completely. As you can see though, Perez in front of us in 6th place. What a start he got there, the Mexican in that McLaren. We're looking to make a move on him though, as Raikkonen and one of the Mercedes, being Lewis Hamilton, trip each other up through this next chicane. We've got Rosberg in front of that, and Alonso, who's up into 2nd place, managed to jump both of the Mercedes off the line, but it's still Sebastian Vettel leading this one. Sebastian Vettel wins coincidentally, and Lewis Hamilton scores nothing, as he has in the last 2 rounds before this. We will have a new championship leader being Sebastian Vettel for the first time since Monaco. So there's my trivia fact of the day. But Sergio Perez has gone well wide. We've had to jump out of the way of him and make him into 6th place. That's compromised our line hugely though. A bit of contact there with Perez as well as Felipe Massa looking at the inside of the Mexican too, but Perez there just literally running out wide. Weird AI mistake just caused by nothing. Usually AI mistakes are at least caused by myself, but literally that had nothing to do with me. And moving on to lap 2, we made up 4 positions from where we started on the grid, so a really good start from ourselves. Good start from Perez, but he's just thrown away 2 positions. Moving now on to lap 3, where DRS is now enabled, and we've got Kimi Raikkonen battling with both Mercedes in front of us. Raikkonen's lost out to one of them. He's got Rosberg immediately in front of him. Lewis Hamilton managed to get past his teammate who's running quite slowly in this race, and that's backing Raikkonen back up towards us. Moving on to lap 4, we've got the assist of DRS, and Raikkonen also certainly has the assist of DRS. It's going right around the outside of Rosberg, down in the straight. We've got Felipe Massa, behind us too, down to 21 drivers as well, so someone's retired somewhere out on the track. But look at this, Rosberg now the next man up as Kimi Raikkonen goes through past him. Rosberg there's clearly struggling on those option tyres. We're looking quite good. Our tyre wear is not brilliant, but with the assist of DRS, it looks as if we're going to get through past Rosberg here. Pretty easy, going to go down the inside, going through there. We outbraked ourselves. Yes, we have hugely out onto the marbles, out onto the AstroTurf and the runoff area, out on the outside. We're going to let Rosberg back through, but he just decides to run into the back of us and spin off. So, not entirely sure what I could have done there, because I was about to literally let Rosberg back through. We had more pace than him anyway. We were about to then pass him probably at the next corner, but I got off the racing line. He just literally ran into the back of us. So we've been gifted 5th place there by Rosberg just going off, but a huge amount of tyre wear now, big slides everywhere, and now on to lap 5, a lap earlier than we usually do. This is becoming quite a theme at the moment in the latter stages of this series. We are coming in for our pit stops and we're going to move on to the prime tyres. Going to have to let these last now for a lap longer than we were initially planning to. Will it be a good pit stop from the guys as we come in on lap 6? We're predicted to drop down to about 17th or 18th place. We're going to have to fight back through, but it's a 3.1 second pit stop from the guys in the Williams pit lane as we exit this awesome pit lane they have here at Abu Dhabi. Really is hugely unique having to go under the track here to get back out, but it looks as if we're going to come out in 16th place, a long way down the order. We've pitted a lap earlier than all of the AI, but look at this, is that Pastor Maldonado? Our teammate, they're effectively forcing us over the AstroTurf and that massive bump coming out of turn 1 there. So Maldonado could have given us perhaps a little bit more space coming out of the pit lane, but with this superior grip we're going to get a much better run than Daniel Ricciardo. That's going to promote us into 15th place, but Ricciardo seems to have a lot more pace in a straight line here. And we're going to lose the position, but I think we're going to try and duck back up to the inside here into this little chicane where we tried to, or attempted to get past Rosberg, and we do eventually get that move stuck there. But Ricciardo had an alarming amount of pace in a straight line here compared to our Renault as we cut that corner absolutely disgustingly. I mean, I should have probably told you to shield your eyes there as we go around the outside of Adrian Sutil. That should have been age restricted. Peggy 12 is what I'm saying about this video, but still up into 10th place now after a few guys pit. To be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure who actually pitted, but I don't think it was people around us. I'm pretty sure Massa, Perez, Raikkonen and such like pitted a lap later. Actually, no, Raikkonen pitted on that lap, but look at this. A very late move there up the inside of Esteban Gutierrez, who looked as if he had the inside line pretty much shielded, but then sort of opened it again pretty much instantly. But moving on to lap 8, and we're back up into 5th place, so we've gained nothing, and we've lost nothing at all here, as everyone around us pits, including Massa and the such like, and we've managed to gain quite a lot of time over Massa, and look at this, setting our fastest lap of the race there on lap 9, but look at that, someone to the side of the track. Is that a Mercedes? Is that Lewis Hamilton? For the 3rd round in a row, we've got the fastest lap of the race, so we are absolutely flying. We're up into 4th place, but now moving well ahead onto lap 12 of 14. Mark Webber's forcing us almost off the track there. That really isn't a place to pass there, Mark, to be honest with you. But still, now moving on to the penultimate lap of this race. Mark Webber is all over the back of us. He's managed to get past Felipe Massa. He's managed to catch Massa and pass him, and pass Rosberg, and pass Grosjean, and pass Sergio Perez. And he's now trying to pass us. He's got the DRS there advantage. I'm sorry if it was slightly... Well, it's slightly bad of me to skip from lap 8 to 12, but literally nothing happened. We were just literally maintaining the gap back to Massa. Unfortunately, our tyres started to go off, and Webber just arrived on the scene with a heck of amount more pace. A huge amount more pace than Felipe Massa did, and then just brought him with him. As you can see, a massive fishtail there out of turn 1 as we go on to the final lap of the race. Just one more lap to hold on. In the meantime, Kimi Raikkonen in the Lotus is in the podium places for, I think, possibly the first time all season. I'm not entirely sure, but on this final lap, we're going to have to hold on. We're going to have to hold on hugely in front of Mark Webber, but look at the run he's got in comparison to us. We're still in lean. I forgot to switch over to rich fuel mixture because I was obviously doing that quite a lot. Rich down the straights and lean through the corners and through the more technical part of the track, but Webber breezes past us in that Red Bull with the DRS, and we're going to try and go around the outside. We'll get the inside into the second part of the chicane. Yeah, we do, but he gets a much better run there on those newer tyres, those slightly less dead tyres, and this is now looking like a huge task to try and get past Webber. Again, we've got the DRS. Romain Grosjean, who's come out of nowhere from 12th on the grid, is bearing down on Felipe Massa as well. We've not been able to get past Mark Webber through the chicane. It's not looking good now because we're going to have so many slides out of that corner. Another slider. Sebastian Vettel wins. We've missed the apex horribly through that corner, well out wide onto the curb, and it's all over, isn't it? It's all over in terms of trying to catch Mark Webber. It's not going to happen. Sebastian Vettel takes away our fastest lap of the race on the final lap as well. So even though we don't get any points, we've lost quite a lot of pride and honour with that, and we're squirming our way yet again to the flag for the 17th time in this series. It seems to happen every time. Massa backs out, gets hit by Grosjean, and Grosjean spins, and all that hard work from going from 12th to 7th has been undone by an AI glitch there that I'm hoping isn't in the new game. Felipe Massa just completely backing out of it. We've managed to come home in 5th place, and despite that being quite a messy race, obviously hitting Perez on the first lap, being hit by Rosberg, and then the Grosjean incident right at the end, I don't really feel as if any of those things were our fault. Well, actually, no, possibly the Perez thing, that was our fault. But Rosberg hitting us, that was completely his own issue. But still, moving on, and to end a quite short episode of the Williams Road to Recovery, actually, compared to what I'm used to, but Sebastian Vettel has won the race in the Red Bull, and how promising it was looking for Mercedes. All that pace they had early on in qualifying, and Hamilton retires, and Rosberg only gets 8th. Alonso was 2nd in the end, and Raikkonen filling out the podium. Mark Webber passing us there on the final lap to take 4th. We grabbed 5th there in front of Felipe Massa, Sergio Perez, Nico Rosberg, Hülkenberg, and Jenson Button rounding out top 10. In the end, Grosjean doesn't even get a single point there in front of Paul di Resta and then his teammate Adrian Sutil. Our teammate Pastor Maldonado in the end finishes 14th in front of Esteban Gutierrez, the Mexican, in the Saab, with Jean-Eric Vergne in 16th, Daniel Ricciardo there in 17th, and look at that, the retirements there, Charles P, but more importantly, Lewis Hamilton for the 3rd race in a row doesn't take any points and retires from the race. We maintain 6th in the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton actually loses the lead in the championship. He only had a 2-point lead going into this round, but now obviously with that 25-point swing in the favour of Sebastian Vettel, he loses out and he's now 23 points behind the German in that Red Bull. It looks as if he had it absolutely sewn up 3 rounds ago, but that run of horrible form for the Brit in the Mercedes, and it's not looking good. He's actually in danger now, losing 2nd to Fernando Alonso too in that 3-horse race at the top. But myself there, and Felipe Massa are actually bearing down on Rosberg after his pretty poor run of form. Mark Webber bearing down on us though, as well as Kimi Raikkonen after that podium as well, in contention for 6th in the Drivers' Championship. I think Webber only 4 points behind us. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, it's very close in the top 3 there. Mercedes leading it by I think only 5 points in front of Red Bull, and then another 14 points back to Ferrari. We've dropped down though to 6th place. We've lost out to Lotus, unfortunately, in the Constructors' Championship, which is a bit of a shame. But as you can see, my pit crew are very happy with my performance. Our objective was only actually to finish 8th, so 5th is very much fulfilling that, and I think a pretty good day's work, even though it was a pretty messy race. But nevertheless, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode of the Williams Road to Recovery. Feel free to like and subscribe if you really enjoyed this video, and comment about enjoying it if you enjoyed it that much. I set up a straw poll as well for what team I should be doing next year in terms of F1 2014 career mode, so a link to that will be in the description below, although there was a video especially for it, so that link will also be in the description below, and feel free to vote if you want to see any of the bottom 6 teams for me, or me driving any of the bottom 6 teams next season on career mode. But nevertheless, it has been an absolute pleasure ranting at you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this slightly shorter race. Not much happened in the middle phase of the race, so I hope you don't mind really that in particular. So yeah, I hope you didn't mind it being quite short, but still, it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a brilliant day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.